I hate to break it to you, but you're not running the universe. I mean, sorry, I have great news. You're not running the universe. Yay. Well, okay, you probably knew that. But if you want to manifest things, shouldn't you have even a little bit of control over some small part of it? Because for a long time it looked to me as though if I had no control over any part of my life, then I was relying on luck alone. And that could be pretty random, to say the least. As it turns out, it's not an either-or situation. You're not running the universe, and isn't that a relief? And at the same time, you do have a very big say in how things turn out in your life. Want to know how to do it? Keep watching. Before we unpack how this works, if you've ever wondered why money doesn't seem to respond to your positive thinking, you'll love my free Effortless Money Manifesting Masterclass. It explains how abundance actually flows without forcing affirmations or trying to control outcomes. There's a link below. Check it out after this video if you want to make this effortless stuff real. Okay, let's pick this thing apart. If you are to be a manifester, then you either have to have some kind of miraculous power, or you have to have a pretty decent understanding of how things show up in your world, if not the world, and know how to get in front of them. To my mind, both of those sound tricky, wouldn't you agree? As I said before, it looked to me for a very long time, and I'm talking decades, that it had to be one of those two options because the alternative was far worse. We're all at the mercy of luck, fate, serendipity, call it what you will. It was nothing to do with me. But there is another way, a far, far better approach, one which works every time. I've been using it now for around 20 years, which has brought me a fantastic wife, enabled me to create an online business I love, and money to take as much time off as I want and to travel all over the world. It doesn't require any technique, and you can get what you want every time. There are 3 very simple steps which don't even need to be done right. They're so obvious and natural, you'll do them anyway. I'm not saying any of this to brag, I'm just saying I now have unshakable belief in this way of manifesting, and I consider it 100% reliable. Although, as my teacher Michael Neal would say, it's also 98% unpredictable. But that's part of the fun of life. I mean, imagine if you knew everything would always turn out exactly as you wanted. You'd pass every test, get every job you applied for, have every movie star or pop icon you had a crush on queuing at your door for some time with you. We'll gloss over how you might spend the time. I mean, everything. How boring would that be? No, I don't want a life like that. I like wanting stuff and having new experiences. That's what makes life a fun adventure. It's not the wanting that's the problem. It's all the discouraging thoughts that you can't have it or you don't deserve it and it's just impossible anyway. Those are the problem. I used to think that one day I'd stop wanting stuff if I could only find a loving partner and have some money in the bank. I believed those things would make me happy. I'm not going to take up your time with the long journey I went on, but in the end I understood that the happiness was there anyway, and the more I hung out in that feeling, the easier it was to manifest everything and anything. It's okay. I know you're yelling back at me that I just can't tell you to be happy on demand. Happiness is conditional, right? When the lover shows up, when you win the lottery, whatever your fairy tale dream is. I understand, I really do. I got stuck there too. But it isn't true. And neither is the opposite. Things don't cause happiness, and being happy isn't a guarantee of succeeding with your manifesting, although it definitely helps. So, how does this manifesting thing work exactly? Well, you'll be relieved to know you don't need magical powers, nor do you need a degree in physics or metaphysics or anything else. all you really need is a little understanding of how you work, because you're designed to have the life you want, and it's effortless and natural. The problem is, culturally, we've stopped seeing it, much less trusting it. Look, as I said at the start, you're not running the universe. None of us are, thank goodness. I don't want that responsibility, thanks very much. But then you have to ask what, if anything, you do have control over. It always seemed to me that most law of attraction teachings made it sound like it was all or nothing. Either I'm in charge of my destiny, or my life is in the lap of the gods. I'll have it my way, thanks. For the record, before we go any deeper into this, let me be clear. I don't know if there's a showrunner or not. I don't have to believe in anything to experience firsthand that there seems to be some kind of design and that I'm not in charge of how things work. From how to grow my fingernails, to the way bees know where to find pollen and what to do with it, to gravity and galaxies and why kittens and puppies are lovable. None of those things, nor any of the bazillions of things like them, are anything to do with me, and I don't want them to be. Yet, as possibly the most intelligent species on the planet, perhaps in the universe, are we really only able to have the life according to the cards the hands of fate deal us? Fortunately, no. You see, we all have a superpower. We are aware of our thoughts and their twin, our feelings. We have self-awareness. That's not just an awareness that we exist and that we're alive. It's an awareness of our internal world, the world, as I said, of thoughts and feelings. And that means two things. First, that we are not actually our thoughts or feelings. It's a huge mistake to believe that the world inside our heads is reality. For example, before I met my wife in 2006, I used to have the notion that life without someone to love was incomplete. I hated being alone. I used to question every day what was wrong with me, that no one seemed to want to be with me, much less love me. My self-esteem was in my boots. And then one day I stopped myself in my tracks. I literally thought, why am I doing this to myself? I decided to enjoy being a midlife bachelor. I decorated my home the way I wanted it. I selected my favourite TV shows, kept the hours that felt comfortable to me, even wasted money on things just because I wanted them. I got to know me like I was my own date and life partner. After all, when I thought about it, whatever happened, I was going to wake up and go to bed with me every day for the rest of my life, no matter what happened. So I figured it made sense to like the person I was going to bed with. I was prepared to live that way forever if need be. I just decided to get to know myself as best I could. Over the next 5 years, I had a blast. I became somebody I liked. So when I met and fell in love with the woman who became my wife, instead of the old feelings of desperation, I hope she likes me and trying to impress her, I was relaxed. I was just myself. I didn't have to pretend to be better or more or in any way other than I was. And by the way, that's a huge part of what I explain in the Effortless Money Manifesting Masterclass. It's not about chasing results. It's about quieting the noise so the right ideas, people and opportunities find you. There's a link in the description. Come back to it after this video and see how it all connects. If I liked being with myself, there was a good chance she'd be comfortable around me too. And if she wasn't, at that point, it would have been fine. I wouldn't have gone away with all the what's wrong with me thoughts I used to have when women rejected me. Nobody likes 100% of people. As it turned out, we clicked immediately, and nearly 2 decades later, we're still loving every day being together. You see, I became aware that I didn't have to listen to the thoughts about not being good enough, or being no good at relationships, or any of that claptrap. From that day forward, whenever thoughts like that arose, I'd simply notice them and ignore them. People have told me it's hard to do that, but really, once you see that you have the power to be aware of your thoughts and the feelings that come with them, you're already there. So let's put this in context. What are these 3 steps I mentioned? They're all in that story, so I'll point them out to you. The first is the easiest to see. I gave up. I let go. Not in an angry, I can't do this kind of way, but in the way of, let's try something else. It's gentle and kind to yourself. I was prepared to live alone until the end, if that's who I was, which is another way of saying I was open to being guided, because that's what I've noticed every time in my life when I've stopped struggling, that ideas and opportunities show up. And that's the second step, trusting that something will occur to you, either in your head or in the outside world. And also, as I mentioned, there's no time limit on this. It's 98% unpredictable. I've been living on my own for 5 years when I met my wife, and frankly, I wasn't sure if I wanted to be with someone by that time. I was enjoying myself, and of course, I had my routines and ways of life that I was precious about. But my new wife trod lightly around those. She never tried to change me, and I like to think I returned that favour to her too. As a result, we changed naturally over time for each other because we wanted to, not because it was demanded. That's how love grew and strengthened between us. So the first step is to let go, and the second is to trust that the big designer will show you and guide you to whatever's next. The only thing I can say about that is that you'll know because it will always feel good. And the third step is to get your mind quiet enough to listen and allow those new thoughts, feelings, ideas, and guidance in. There's nothing mystical about this, unless you want there to be. You can meditate 5 hours a day if that suits you, but I'm certainly not going to prescribe it. Your mind will go quiet on its own when you're in the shower or peeling potatoes or walking the dog or cleaning the windows, all by itself. The difference is that when something brings itself to your awareness, that you don't immediately dismiss it as a silly idea or whatever way your regular conscious mind discourages you. When that happens, and trust me, it will, simply notice it and move on from it. No need to try to stop the thoughts or override them with positive thinking. That simply focuses you more on what you're trying to not do, like trying not to think of an elephant. So I hope you can see you don't need to run the universe, and neither does the universe run your life. The wisdom of the universe is always available to you because you're part of it. It's built into you as surely as there's a heart beating in your chest and blood circulating around your body, even though you're not aware of those things most of the time. If that idea resonates with you and you'd like to experience how it applies to money and abundance, watch my free Effortless Money Manifesting Masterclass. It goes deeper into this effortless way of creating without forcing, and it might just change the way you see everything. The link's right below. Let go, trust, get quiet. They're only hard if you think they are. They're only hard if you listen to the fear thoughts about not being in control that come up. You will always be guided, and your life will be wonderful, I promise. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon in another video.